Hey guys. So the IRS is now open. We can all do a little dance. Mm, mm. Yes. So if you are like me, you probably had a business last year. You ended up getting your PPP. You ended up getting your EIDL. You ended up doing everything that you needed as far as the pandemic and with your taxes and everything like that. So now you just stuck with all this paperwork, you know? Um, it is finally time to file taxes. If you have been spending a lot of money on gas, if you have been spending a lot of money on food, a lot of money on entertainment, depending on the entity that you have, you may be able to qualify for certain write offs. But just today, I wanted to talk to you guys just about, your taxes and things that may be necessary to know, when filing your taxes and dealing with your taxes. So, if you started up a business last year, whether you started up a LLC or whether you started up a C corporation or a nonprofit, if your corporation is started up by you as the owner or you as the only member or the only manager, then when you do fill out this information, because the LLC is tied to that name, you would enter your taxpayer information as the owner. Now, the way that some C corporations are set up, sometimes a lot of the owners, technically in a sense, they like to shed themselves, cloak themselves as just shareholders. So they're not really on there as any type of owner or any person who started up the entity or anything like that. They're just a shareholder. They own a share to the company. So therefore, they have a right in some of the company decisions and some of the things that are made, depending on how the entity was set up and how powers are divided amongst shareholders to choose and deliberate on anything within the quorum of the board. So, okay, let's get started. Me personally, I use TaxHawk. Um, I do like TurboTax. One thing about me is that in order for me to learn, I like to context read. And what I don't like about TurboTax is that TurboTax it singles out information to where you have to write in just your W 2 by itself. Like it doesn't give you a sneak peek to allow you to do context reading and use context clues while you're reading. And that's one thing that I don't like. I don't like about TurboTax. I use TaxHawk because it has a open program, like a open interface, and basically that open interface allows you to toggle a bit around the website. Say you're looking at one thing and maybe you're just not understanding it. If you had access to some other information, then it would be more understanding. But that's one thing that TaxHawk offers for me, that I actually do love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually do love that about TaxHawk. So on the beginning of tax talk, it'll basically ask you, simplify information, who's the taxpayer's information. I'm assuming if you have a C corporation that the person that you guys had choose and as an acting official for the company. With the C corporations, you have to choose like a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. I'm assuming that one of those or one of the appointed directors or appointed managers would be the ones. Or whoever that you choose, because when you're setting up an entity like that, you can really choose anyone and designate anyone as a whole, and you can appoint them to a certain position. So really, that's for anybody. Honestly, that's for anybody. Um, So it'll ask you for your first name, it'll ask you for your last name, it'll ask you for your occupation. Of course, it'll ask you your social security number. Like I said, if it's a corporation, then you're not gonna put your social. Of course, you're gonna put your EIN or your FEIN number. You won't put your social. Your date of birth, that was the tricky one. I'm not too sure if you have a corporation, if you would just hand file this and not put a date of birth. I'm not too sure how that works with corporations, but make sure you follow up with your tax advisor about that. You make sure you put in your business address. Now, at the end of the personal information collection, they'll ask you, could a parent or somebody else claim you as a dependent on their return? Of course, the answer will be no. Of course, if you do know that no one's claiming you, you want to make sure. It's been so many instances where I've had youngins come to me and they're like, oh, I haven't lived with my mom for like 2 years and I'm 20, and unfortunately she's still filing me, and she got my stimmy check, and you know what I'm saying, and she ain't breaking bread. So yeah, like that's real. Like, if you don't think that, if you do or you don't think your parent is still filing taxes on you, make sure that you find out if someone is still claiming you or is trying to file some type of taxes on you. Because that could be very detrimental to you getting your funds back, or, you getting anything back really, because they filed you. So it also asks you, do you want to contribute $3 to the presidential election campaign fund? Me personally, I say no, I don't do that. Um, it asks, is this person legally blind? Of course, you're not going to lie. You're going to tell them if you're legally blind or not. And it also says, has this person passed away before the filing of this year's tax return? Of course, if it's you that's filing, you will put no, you're not dead. And then on the next one, it will ask you your filing status. To choose your filing status, to choose whether or not you were single, married, filing jointly, married, filing separately, head of household, qualifying widower, and you're not sure, help me decide. Now, one thing that I really love about Tax Hawk is that, like I said, it has such an open interface. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to TurboTax, it's literally like, you either have to know and you type in their little box, or they'll give you a little drop down icon. But that's kind of like as far as it goes. It'll ask you, do you want to chat with someone? It's like, no, I don't want to chat with anyone. I just want to understand this, but you're not giving me anything to understand. And one thing that helps me understand is context reading and using context clues. I love that. The Tax Hawk website interface will actually have to give you, it's giving you at the bottom of the page, it says which filing status gives the biggest refund. So it'll even help you navigate in choosing, you know what I'm saying, like which one that you want to do. Which filing status gives the biggest refund, which filing status should I use, and more information. So that's so helpful. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely love Tax Talk. That is so helpful. Me personally, I'm not going to share which one I file with. I'm just going to keep going to the next one. It'll also ask you on the personal intake information, it will ask you, do you have any dependents, and do you have any qualifying children? Qualifying children could be children that you had at home living with you for 12 months. They live with you for at least half the year. Another dependent could also be someone who is disabled. They don't just have to be your kid. They can be someone that you took care of. Anyone who's under 18. The rules still apply if your sister has been out in another country and she's like, hey, I want you to watch your nephew, let him spend a night for half the summer or for half the year. Then the same thing applies. If you're taking care of him, then you need to come up to an understanding with the person that you're making this type of agreement with, because you're going to be supplying a home, you're going to be supplying food, you're going to be supplying all these things that are taxable and that are also write-offs. You want to know, if I take care of your kid for half the year, I'm going to be able to file them on my taxes. You want to go ahead and get something like that in writing, because when you're doing the startup of your taxes, personally or for your business, it's going to ask you, is someone else claiming, this person as their taxes when it's talking to you about the dependents and the qualifying children. It's going to ask. So yeah, your dependent can be someone disabled. They can be someone who's not related to you. They could be someone who's just stayed the year with you. They've stayed more than half the year with you, due to certain particular state requirements, I guess. Some states may be picky. Some states may require that the dependent live with you for at least 12 months, while some states may require that they live with you for 6 months. So you want to make sure that you do your due diligence in finding out, you know what I'm saying, like, what do I qualify under as far as my tax filing status? Because whatever state that you are either born in, or you are either not born in, but the state that you are accumulating income in, and that you are getting these statements going to whatever address that you're using to get all your personal or business statements, you're going to be using that information. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that would be really helpful. So let's go on to the next one. I don't have any more dependents, so I'm not going to write anything right there. um Personal information summary. Yeah, so before Tax Hawk will take you to the income and deductions page, they will go ahead and go over that personal information with you, and they'll go ahead and verify that with you. Make sure that you put in the correct name, the correct social FEIN number. Make sure you put the correct address, the correct filing status, name, date of birth for the dependents, how many months they live with you, etc., etc. um, let's see. Oh, and also it will ask you, did you receive a identity protection pin? Did you or any dependents receive a CP018 notice from the IRS with the identity protection pin? Me personally, I have not received anything like that from the IRS. I'm pretty sure that is for people that may be going through some type of identity theft or some type of hassle with identifying their accounts. So I'm pretty sure that's who that would apply to. And it'll also ask you to input a phone number just for security purposes. They will ask you to upgrade with your deluxe with TaxHawk. My past experience with TaxHawk is that I did not need to do the deluxe. The deluxe support upgrade. I'm not going to go into it too much because I'm not really sponsored by TaxHawk. I'm just really recommending by word of mouth. This is what I use. This is what I recommend, because this is what I had the most efficiency with. But the deluxe support upgrade, that comes with the priority support, that comes with the audit assistant, that comes with the unlimited amended returns, excellent value, only $7. And you can upgrade to the deluxe. So then it is so genuine, it is so generous that after you finish that information, it is going to take you to the income page. It's like the bomb. It's like the bomb interface layout. I didn't know what that was. It's like a bomb interface layout. Okay. So when you get to the income page, it's going to ask you to add your wages. It'll ask, do you want to enter a W-2? So if you had worked for an employer, and for some reason you did not get some type of tax statement in the mail, meaning that you signed up with an employer in 2020. In 2020, you gave them a social security card, you signed up, you were an employee. If you have not gotten a W-2, then you need to contact them or find out what's going on, because you're gonna need that in order for you to file your taxes today. Are you ready to enter your W-2? I just put skip for now. And it's very simplex. I didn't put any information in it, so I'm not going to go too deep into the W-2 input. It's pretty self-explanatory, very simplex. So one thing with the income is that there's a section that's going to ask you about your common income. Your common income. It's going to ask you about your wages, your salaries, which is your W-2. It is going to ask you about your interest income. It's going to ask you about that, which is a 1099 INT. I can go ahead and visit that. Let's see, 1099 INT. Um, and it's not gonna let me even go deeper into it. It's done got confusing. Sorry, you guys. Um, so they have interest income, they have dividend income, 1099 DIV. They also have the unemployment compensation. So if you're like a lot of people last year, out of millions, millions, and millions of Americans, and you were unfortunately on unemployment due to the pandemic, you have a 1099G. Regardless if you got your 1099G in the mail, regardless if it's on your unemployment network for your state, you have a 1099G. Do not file your taxes this year, and you do not have a 1099G from your state, from your local unemployment office if you did not voluntarily take out taxes for state and fed on your unemployment. So this past year, if you were getting unemployment, you had the option that said, hey, you want to take out state, you want to take out federal, you want us to withhold it. You were like, nah. So now you're liable to put that information on there. Do not file your taxes if you got unemployment last year and you did not, and you do not have your 1099G. You need to contact your local office and you need to make sure that you get that 1099G. One thing about the information that came out in 2021 in regards to the PPP is that you could not be getting unemployment and get the PPP. Mm-mm. Yeah, I read the document. That was a no. You could not be getting unemployment and get the PPP loan. That was a no go. Okay. So also on that form they have the Social Security benefits, form SSA 1099. They also have the retirement income, form 1099R. They also have the taxable state refund, form 1099G, stocks and investments sold, form 1099B. And we have the capital loss carryovers, any type of capital losses from your business or whatever, this, that, and the third. Go ahead and type that information in. That'll be listed as a part of your income. Any of the topics that I just read that had to do with just income, common income at that. Now, business and rental income. Anything from your business, like we were talking about with your LLC, say that you formed an LLC, say that you have a home business, say that you're a sole proprietor. Now, whether you're a sole proprietor or not, I know a lot of times EINs for sole proprietors are issued because they want to have separate banking. But sole proprietorship is set up specifically to be able to intertwine personal and business banking together. Yeah, and it's not really a necessity because I mean you can go ahead and go get a sole proprietorship EIN and still go open up a bank account with that EIN, but still be held personally liable for those debts from any creditor simply off the fact of that's what that EIN is. That EIN really holds no type of protection between the operator or the one that it is standing in place for. It holds no type of protection for that holder. So yeah, that's one thing with the sole proprietor is that even if you do go get an EIN number for a sole proprietor and you do go open up a separate bank account and to help run your business, doesn't matter. Okay, your books are separate, good for you. But at the end of the day, if a creditor comes and pursues you and a judge puts in an order to have anything assigned into your account to any type of creditor, then wham bam. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a big no-no. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the Schedule C business income. If you have the LLC, if you have the home business, if you have the sole proprietorship, you are going to take yourself to the Schedule C. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're gonna take yourself to the Schedule C and you're gonna go straight into that business income bracket. So that's where the money is. That's where all the reportings go. This right here is where the write-offs take place, baby. You feel me? Like this is where you tell them, I am a musical artist, I am a camera person. Yes, I had to spend such and such amount of money on inventory. Yes, I had to spend this on such and such, and you get your money back. These are business expenses. Your Schedule C is your business income, and anything that you want to try to write off, that you want to be credible. Now, one thing that you have to do your homework on is, whatever entity that you do formulate or that you do choose for yourself, you want to make sure that you're following the income limits, you're following the gain limits, you're at the minimum or the maximum of your loss or whatever you want to call it, because every entity has any way that is set up. You know what I'm saying? So like if an entity is an entity could be like an LLC, but yet still be taxed as a C corporation. So, and when it's taxed as a C corporation, you need to know what rules apply, where that those rules that already apply, when is it applicable to apply any type of double taxation? Because that's why a lot of people try to avoid C corporations, because people are not trying to get taxed twice. A lot of times when people do set up corporations, you end up trying to set yourself up as a shareholder and trying to set yourself up as an on paper owner. Therefore, you're experiencing a type of double taxation, because if you look into that entity, then you'll see, you know what I'm saying, that it's certain requirements and certain things that you may need or have to qualify for, that may be applicable to that and that only, to keep you under a certain pay scale or to keep you at a certain bracket to where you're not getting overly taxed. Because I know, like, I think if you get earned income credit, well, a good example is the stimulus checks. So the stimulus checks was basically like, if you make under a certain amount of money, you could get this, or if you qualify for this. It's the same thing with entity setup. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get so confused when they're trying to read, entities as far as it's LLC, C corp, whatever. People get so confused. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that is really talking about is how you're setting up. You know, you want to be optimistic that your business is going to make $1 million. I'll say that, period. You know what I'm saying? You want to think and believe and hope like my business is going to make $1 million, but you need to be responsible to know where's the market cap for when double taxation begins on your entity, considering what if you did get close to making $1 million? Where is your state income limit to where double taxation starts? So if your LLC is already formulated in Texas, and Texas LLCs only have a top cap rate for income gains or sales or maybe gross net altogether, if that caps automatically at like 150,000, and at 150,000, at that point you would be double taxation. You need to consult with your advisor, and you need to be aware of when you've already hit that margin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be aware how much money can you deposit into your account. um is it going to be a mass number from your sales, from your refunds, from your losses to your profits, to inventory held? Will that price include all of that compounded, or will it just be, basically just off sales or whatever? Like, it's up to you as the business owner to be aware of something like that, because you don't want to start a business now in January and say you start some funky business that literally it takes off, it goes, and in the middle of June, you are sitting with almost $200,000 in your pocket. What are you going to do? And this is like really where, investors come into play, because a lot of times when people have undocumented money, a lot of people who have undocumented money, I hate to say it, but they're equity investors. That's a lot of people who have undocumented money. That's a lot of people who like put money in, businesses to take off. And, that is their only goal in life. Like their only job is brief executive summaries all day. Like, business trash, throw it in the trash. I believe in this business. Keep it. Give them $100,000. Like that's an equity investor's only job. Like once you reach a certain amount of money, at that point you're literally giving it away. So that's why they have charities. That's why they have nonprofits. Because when you are a LLC, when you are a C corporation, you do not want to get in trouble with the law or the IRS. Period, by having over the state and federal income limits for that business that is not set up to, have that and not be double taxed. Period. So yeah, let's go ahead and get back to it. So yeah, that's the Schedule C. On Tax Talk, it's gonna ask you to input the name of what you do, the business description, and it'll ask you to put the business owner. Okay, so if the owner of the business, so say your business is Rick's Barbecue, but Rick's Barbecue is a DBA from Rick's Holdings. So the business owner for that business that you would put in there will be Rick's Holdings. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the business owner, technically, Rick's Holdings. You will input that information. So let's go ahead and have a look. So it's going to ask you basic business information. It'll ask, does your business have a separate business name? And of course, like I said, if you have a DBA, you will put that inside this information. And it says many people don't have separate names for their businesses. And that's if people have sole proprietorships. That's if people did not make disregarded LLCs, because disregarded LLCs are single member only LLCs, and single member only LLCs more than likely are not uprooted with the social security number. So that's how the disregarded entity LLC will work out for you. So it'll also tell you to do a business code lookup. So if you were like me and you started up your business, and you're like me and you were like, you know what, you literally could not figure out what, like you knew you wanted to be a record company producer or whatever, but you were like, you know what, I don't really know what to choose. Look, me personally, my SIC code was business and management, and I got that from a very well known entrepreneur who was saying that one way to get into those underwriter computations and algorithms would definitely be to going through business and management rather than just on full scale taking real estate, insurance, even though insurance is not even like a big, insurance is like not a big overhead. So I guess when you go to investors or you go to banks for like overhead insurance loans, they're like, what do you need a loan for? Because you just sell insurance. Go sell some insurance. So that sucks. But anyway, yeah, I chose business and management. That is my next, and that is my sixth. If you don't know what it is, it's like the SIC codes are the ones that you choose in the IRS when you do your business entity startup, and then the next codes are the ones that you operate when you end up after get your Duns and Brads and all this, that, and the third. So yeah. Does your business have an employer identification number? People who have a home-based business, people who, say you're a mom, you stay at home, but you sell aprons. That's a business. That's a business. You'll get this information. Your name is Mandy. Mandy's business is named Mandy. And yes, if Mandy has 2-3 kids and they are documented, Mandy, yes, she can get earned income credit based off her selling of her aprons. It's so cool, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so cool that people can go into business, but when people want to go into business and start making up all these corporations and all these entities, people are really trying to build a mask of protection against the mass minds who are in control of this corporation. Like they want you to own, well, you're supposed to control everything but own nothing. So that's like the big bueno that everyone's looking for in life, as far as trying to save money on like taxes or whatever like that. Does your business have a different address than your home address? So this is what, hey, if your business does not have a different address, cool. But when you have a different address, you are a business that got funded. No business is funded more than a business with a business address. A business with a commercial address, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, seriously, they would literally throw money at you. If you had a business address during this pandemic last year, you had a business address, you had, say, an employee, you probably qualified for some money last year. You know, really, people put so much thought into having a business, and they think of it as, oh my God, it's like JC Penney, it's like this big corporation. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. Like, I swear, yo, like, you can literally like sell spoons, and it is like a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you, and my thing is, people don't understand. Like, if you do not have a nonprofit and you're able to give people receipts for their donations, like, you, you're not missing out on much. Trust me, you're missing out, but not that much. One thing is that when people give you items, say you sell spoons, you know what I'm saying? If you're selling spoons and you're gifted with like freaking $20,000 worth of freaking spoons because someone then gave you like freaking 20,000 spoons, like literally, you can literally use the projected income based off those spoons as holding like gross income. You know what I'm saying? Because it's there. It just hasn't converted yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like it's definitely there. Um, but yeah, if you had a business address, you had a business phone number, you got put in the 411 directory, you ended up making a 5-page business website, you ended up having your email connected to your website. Say your website was like mandysdoghouse.org and your email address is Mandy at the doghouse.org. Like, that is the most professional shit that is ready for underwriting engines, and it's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be ready to get your your $250,000 loan. You're gonna be able to make that shit soar. Like, I promise you, just get everything separate. That's why a lot of people did not get funded during PPP, whether they were missing a website. And it's so crazy because you could be so close. Sometimes when you let people set up your entity for you, sometimes when you let people dictate how your entity should be set up and you don't study it or read for it on yourself. And don't get me wrong, I do not promote postponing or any type of lag in starting a business. Look, get into it, start the freaking business, do the business, do not procrastinate. But at the same time, do not be lazy, be active. If you want to start a business within a day, then within those few hours, you need to be reading on the entities that you want or the entity that you want to set up, so it fits the lifestyle that you're trying to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that whatever you're doing is fit in the lifestyle that you want to live. So yeah. um does your business have a different address? Of course. Did you start or acquire this business during 2020? If you did start or acquire your business during 2020, make sure you guys, let them know that yes, you did start and acquire your business in 2020. Did you make any payments in 2020 that would require you to file Forms 1099? So basically, were you under any type of contracting obligation, whether it was a non-employee compensation, whether it was a 1099 miscellaneous? Is there any type of payments that you made that where it's like at least $600, then you're reported. See, that's why I say about knowing your entity, because some incomes do not have to be reported if it's under a certain bracket, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to read the whole book, but at least while you're doing taxes, have some type of tax dictionary or tax book beside you, because really that's all that you need. You don't need all that. Even if you just want to follow your tax advisor who's doing your taxes, if you just want to follow with them just to have a more clear understanding, and you want to be able to feel confident in a service that you purchase. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to know that, oh, I went to such and such. I went to Holly. Holly, she does my taxes. I just don't understand. You start going around all your friends, and it's like, oh, well, I did the same thing as you guys, but, I only got back like $4,000. And, other people didn't go to Holly. And some people who didn't go to Holly, they got back like $8,000, So, like, it's certain situations like that where, you don't have to call third parties in to try to judge you or to try to tell you, oh, you're a F up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like if you just learn the basic simplicity of taxes, you do not have to be in the blind on taxes. Let me tell you this. Most people, like after looking up the statistics, when I knew certain people who had to deal with tax liens, most people that get tax liens put on them, they went to a hired professional to do their taxes. And let that sit with you. Most people that actually have tax liens put on them, they went to a hired professional. One thing that you want to make sure that you do during the year is you want to make sure you keep multiple bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always want to make sure, like, once you start your business and once you get your business entity going, the second thing that you're going to do when you get back those articles of organization or incorporation, the first thing that you're going to do is go and open up a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you put just $1 in that bank account a day, regardless if you just put $5 in there a day, you know what I'm saying? You're going to keep funding that bank account, because at the end of the day, the United States is ran off debits and credits. We are not a cash only society. Our credit rules our cash more. I tell people get separate bank accounts, because when it comes to this game that we're playing as far as credits and debits, you know, you have to be mindful that, yeah, you may be broke as shit. You may have like $100 in your account, but you have an extended $10,000, $20,000, $15,000 credit line. And at the end of the day, when you still have a credit line, regardless, even though it's cash and it has no type of substance behind it, well, even though it's credit with no substance behind it, you still have to realize, like, they're still looking at this as, money that could be taxable. You know what I'm saying? So, it's always good to always have, multiple bank accounts. So, sometimes you can move your monies and your credits around a little bit, and you can just play with it a little bit. Does your business have inventory or cost of goods sold? Of course, you would tell them if you sold goods, if you have inventory. And it'll also ask you on Tax Hawk, what is the method that your business uses for accounting, which is so cool and so important, because if you have a subscription based business, if you have a loan type based business, you will be able to choose cash, accrual, and other. So it's pretty cool. You can't tell me that's not cool. This is pretty cool. Ugh. Okay, so after you finish doing the basic business information, it's gonna take you to income, and it's be for like income and returns. Um, so income and returns. Did you receive a 1099 non-employment compensation, or did you receive a 1099 miscellaneous? You would probably hit yes or no. Most businesses that do work from home, even if you do contract with someone, if they didn't give you any type of tax paperwork, then more than likely, you know what I'm saying, this more than likely you don't have a NEC. You don't have the NEC, the NEC code, 1099 NEC. So it'll also ask you for your other income and return expenses, gross receipts and sales that are not from the 1099 NEC, which I said, some businesses may not have that if you did not do any type of federally recognized, contractual obligation work, where you needed to fill that out. Um, and it'll say yes or no. Did you receive a Form 1099K reporting income for this business? Make sure, before the end of the year or whoever you did business with last year, if you did receive a 1099K, if you received the 1099 NEC, if you received the 1099 MISC, make sure that you have that information ready for input as far as whatever entity that it came for or whatever individual that it would arrive for. It'll ask you to enter the amount of gross receipts or sales for the beauty shop. So if you do not have receipts from making multiple sales from products, and say you're like, a contractual entrepreneur, say maybe you do hair, so like you issue your own receipts or whatever. So when you issue your own receipts or whatever, you would take that amount of your receipts that's gross altogether, your net, and you would just put it all together, and you will let them know, I made 15,000, 17,000, within a year or whatever this case may be in a third. They'll ask you about returns, allowances. They'll ask you about miscellaneous income. Um, let's see. Then you'll get to your expenses. This is when you get to your write-offs, your common expenses, your health insurance. It'll also walk you through, telling you do not add any type of insurance that covered. Um, do not add anything that may have been covered by some bought health insurance with a premium. And when you click on it, it'll tell you all that stuff. And one thing that I absolutely love about Tax Hawk is that, one thing about TurboTax is that TurboTax, like, say you want to say no, like when I did my taxes with TurboTax, it was like so freaking long. Like when I do my taxes with them, I know, like me, I know I don't have a K1. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I don't have like a Schedule K. So I know I don't have like a 1099. And like instead of me being able to skip over that stuff in like TurboTax, it like showed up on my final documents. Like, I didn't have it. So it's like kind of weird. One thing about TaxHawk though is that TaxHawk, they are so open that it'll allow you to just skip over certain parts if you just know it just doesn't qualify. One thing on the expenses and the assets is do not forget to do your vehicle expenses. Your vehicle expenses, your gas expenses, write off any type of food receipts, restaurant receipts, whatever. Write all that stuff off. They also have miscellaneous. You have qualified business income deduction. You have the work opportunity credit. You have the less common expenses, and then they will allow you to look at your Schedule C to see if your Schedule C was done correctly. If you are a person who has done a 1040, which most people do. Most people do file 1040, or they file 1040X just for the amendment of the 1040, or they file a 1041 for domestic trust, or you do the 1040 NR for people who are non-residents, and yet you are still commercial. You're still doing commerce. Let's see. It asks me, do I need to enter information for another business? So, like, yeah, if you have multiple businesses under your belt, when you go to Tax Hall, it will actually help you enter multiple business for your business. And it will not confuse you with anything of the sort. Anything of the sort. Okay. So that was business income. Another income would be partnership income. Now that's if you guys did a joint venture. That's when you did a joint venture. You would maybe cut a check or something like that. That's when you would get the partnership income for the Schedule K1. They also have the S corporation income, the Schedule K1. They also have the rental income, the Schedule E. Now, of course, if you have any type of properties that receive any type of rents or incomes, and it is in no way type associated, say it's still in your grandfather's name because your grandfather passed away, you are not going to put that information on this information if it does not apply to the titles. Okay, your name is Sammy and your grandfather's name is Henry, and Henry passed away and left Sammy a house. Sammy owns two businesses. Therefore, Sammy was already filing personal taxes, and now Sammy's filing business taxes. Sammy is not going to put Henry's property that Henry left in regards as a inheritance or whatever you want to call it. It may have not even been inherited, but it ended up being his anyway. And say, something like that happens at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like it just wouldn't apply to this. Like that would be something that would be like on Henry's paperwork, not Sammy's. Like no. Um, they have the rental income schedule C. So, like I said, unless your rental income is in the name of your company or in the name of your personal, you will not put any rental income on associated with this unless it specifically applies to the titles. Farm income, which is Schedule F. Farm rental income, which is Form 4835. Sale of business assets, which is less common. They also have uncommon income. Now, uncommon income, we will have to look up your entity, and you, like I said, you will have to look up your caps. You will have to look up your margins. When would your margin overflow as far wise as what you need to work for you? If you know that you're going to make 150,000 within a year, or you, because of last year's sales, you may over increase that gross, you need to have some type of plan, something in place to where some money went to somewhere and ended up taking off for tax relief, because when you actually put money inside of a charity or some type of nonprofit, it can grant relief, and bring a certain balance to certain brackets that you may be dealing with your taxes. The uncommon income, they have gambling income, which is Form W2G, gambling income. They have original issue discount income, which is the 1099 OID. A lot of people may be familiar with that. They have the estate or trust income. Now, if you have a revocable or a irrevocable trust, like I said before, you guys, you have to know what your cap is on your entity. Now, I believe for some revocable trusts, income gains that do not exceed 600 do not need to be reported on no revocable trust. Do not report certain gains that do not exceed the certain caps and the certain margin limits that you may qualify for, because some income is not even reportable until it even reaches a certain margin. I know the revocable income. Excuse me. I know the irrevocable trust is actually, I think it has to be over a certain amount, as well as the irrevocable, it has to be over or under a certain amount. Like if it's not at 600, you are not going to put this on your taxes. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want them to make a magnifying glass over something that shouldn't even been magnified. And like I say, I'm not encouraging people to do their taxes by themselves without a tax professional. I'm simply trying to help people get a more broad understanding, because taxes can essentially be a blessing, and they can also be an investment for future projects and anything that you want to do now. So you want to make sure that something that you've been contributing to all year, you want to make sure that it gets done right. You don't want to be struggling and going through hard times, and the one thing that you had during this pandemic was your taxes, and you take the time out of your day to try to go and get you a trustworthy accountant to give you a good refund. And not only are you stuck paying the accountant like $1,000, you're stuck losing money because, things that would have worked more in your favor were not even applied on your behalf, because they're just an accountant. At the end of the day, they're going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your relationship with your tax advisor. I am not a tax advisor. I am just simply a pupil. I've been studying taxes for as long as I've been doing them. And I honestly feel like if you are doing taxes and you are working, if you are working and you have W2s or whatever the case may be, you should be knowledgeable in taxes. So people are not getting over on you. People are not, leaving you with like, a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? When people over here are getting thousands of dollars, you don't want to be over here with absolutely nothing. And that's because most of your money went to paying your tax professional. You would have got more money in your pocket if you would have filed your taxes by yourself. You ended paying someone to basically not pay you. And that was their only job. Their only job was to help you get paid, you know? And it's like that sometimes. Sometimes you got to take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, so you have the estate trust income, you have seller finance loans, you have royalty income. Royalty income exchange is for all of our artists, our rappers, singers, stuff like that. Unreported or allocated tips. They have the sale of the main home, installment sales, canceled debt. That would be the Form 1099-C. They also have the qualified tuition program distribution, which is the Form 1099-Q. They also have the long-term care insurance payment, Form 1099-LTC. They also have the ABLE account distribution, Form 1099-QA. I can go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek into the earned income credit. This year, they are actually going to allow people to utilize their 2019 return income. Whatever gross that you made on your last year's income, they are now allowing people to use that as the basis for their earned income credit calculation. So, woo! If you average net if you average net in 2019, like $20,000, and say you qualify for the earned income credit, yes, child, if you did not make that $17,000 in 2020, don't worry about it. The IRS said, look, we got you. You can go ahead and apply your 2019 to this, and we got you. We got you. We're going to go ahead and apply this to that, and we're going to go ahead and use that as what you need to get your earned income credit. So if you didn't work and you're like, oh my God, I didn't work like I wanted to in 2019, don't worry, they got you. Right now, you can use your 2019 income and get your earned income credit deduction. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Okay. So they have if you have a child with more than $1,100 of investment income, that needs to be reported on the Form 8814. I'm assuming it needs to be reported if you have a bank account for it, because of course, if you have cash accounting for it, you wouldn't even put that on here. Like I said, unless it's something that's very public, like a bank account. So undistributed long-term capital gains, Form 2439, contracts and straddles. Other income includes taxable scholarship income, household employee wage, and other miscellaneous income. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep going. Qualified business income deduction carry forward. Interqualified dividends, qualified partnership loss carry forward from prior years. If you have any funds that got left out for some reason, they weren't calculated. They were calculated right at the end of January 30th, 2021. Anything for any type of reason, or 2020 or 2019, anything that's like a qualified business income and it was a deduction, you were able to carry it over to the next year. You're gonna go ahead and put that information in right there for those carry forwards. So, and at the end of that, so basically, one thing that I love about Tax Hawk. This is the golden. It will give you the 2020 income summary. It will give you a full accounting of last year's and the previous year's income. It will let you know, why did you make less than 2019? And it'll bring it up too. I swear, yo, like this, like Tax Hawk is the absolute bomb. Like they are the bomb. They are the bomb. They are the bomb. It will literally tell you how much you lost Like it's nothing like TurboTax. It's nothing like TurboTax. Not to put down TurboTax, but TurboTax is two in a box for me, and I cannot maneuver it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it will literally tell you what you made in 2019. It'll tell you where you fucked up at. It'll tell you how much money did you reach over your margin that you were only supposed to stay under a certain bracket for. Like it will literally tell you everything, even with the negative and positive integers. Like it will tell you every single thing. I promise you. And it will let you inspect it, and it will let you click on the issue individually. So you don't have to go completely all the way back through this whole entire interface. No. Hell no. You can literally click on what it is that you messed up on. I don't know if you guys can I guess I could like try to show you a picture. See, like it's all says zero. Like all of it says zero. But like if you had put something in there the previous year or whatever, because I'm not doing this for myself. This is just the tutorial. But it says zero. But if you were to put it in from like the previous year or whatever, it'll let you know where your ass got taxed. Like it'll tell you. That's what I love about Tax Talk. If you are a beginner and filing taxes, if you are a beginner and having a business, the most simple website that you could possibly use is Tax Talk. Like I swear, kid you not. It does not put you in a bubble. It does not just give you a little tab where you can select or write your own little answer in. No, no, it is nothing like that. Like Tax Hawk is that deal. Tax Hawk will keep up with it will keep your previous tax returns for you. I think it's up to like 3 years. And then after that, um, you know, okay, so this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing with Tax Hawk. Tax Hawk literally just asked me because all my things were at zero. It says, "How about we help you maximize your income? Talk to a professional for only $24. We'll help you get money if you don't have any." Like these people are the bomb.com. I absolutely love Tax Hawk. These people are the bomb. I love it. So it'll tell you what standard and itemized deductions you have, and it'll give you a breakdown like because of such and such and such and such, because of such and such and such and such, this is why. Like they'll give you a visual and they'll give you the graph data and the computations and be like, this is why you should choose the standard deduction and not the itemized deduction. See, like on some other platforms and some other websites, it just says standard and itemized deduction, but they don't even take the time to really give you any type of understanding material to where you're like, okay, I think I will take the standard. But see, sometimes like some things are just not even explanatory. Like some people just don't explain, so it's like you're completely lost. You have no idea. So on the last one that we're gonna talk about itemized deductions, medical expenses, taxes that were paid, mortgage interest, other mortgage information, donations to charities, investment interests, other itemized deductions, disaster casualty and theft. Um, a new deduction, cash contributions with standard deductions. New deduction in 2020. If you take the standard deduction instead of itemizing deductions, you can now deduct up to 300 of the charitable contributions to qualified organizations. So it'll tell you your standard deduction for 2019. It'll tell you your itemized deduction for 2020. So that is really, 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 really good. That is really good. Like no one else is doing that. It wants to know. Oh yeah, good news this year, everybody. The IRS does not require everyone to report their health insurance anymore. So yes, maybe by December 15th, you were scrambling to get health insurance. I'm here to tell you now from the Holy Grail, no more health insurance has to be reported. I know people were like jumping off of ships because they were like, oh my God, I gotta fucking get life insurance by December 15th. So I make it look like I got freaking life insurance and I want to get life insurance now while the premiums are ultra low and enrollment is open. Trust me, I absolutely get it. I absolutely understand. I get it. I understand. I absolutely get it. It'll ask you about your IRA contributions. Did you make any traditional or Roth IRA contributions during 2020? You tell them no. Did you have any excess IRA contributions during 2019? You can tell them no. Do you have any excess Roth IRA contributions in 2019? Reported on Form 5329, line 24, and on additional tax on Form 5329, line 25. You can put no. Okay. Do you have a SEP, a simple or other self-employed qualified retirement plan? If you have a retirement plan, you go ahead and put it, but because this is a tutorial, I'm just clicking no, 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 no. Just trying to give you guys the brief tea on everything you got to go through. So once you get toward the end with Tax Talk, I know what you're probably thinking, like, oh my God, I've been following this chick for like a freaking hour. I'm on Tax Talk. I put in all my information. Look, I just got a little home based business. I got these kids. I want to get earned income credit. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got my parents. I got y'all. Because that right there is already here. They have the college tuition expenses form 1098T. Also, another jewel for you guys. Last year during the pandemic, a lot of kids were forced to study and do things at home. A lot of parents were forced to do homeschooling. If you went ahead and did homeschooling and you incurred expenses, you can go ahead and tell them that you were a part-time teacher. Go ahead and tell them that you were a teacher. Go ahead and get those write-offs for your educator expenses. Yes, you were an educator because yes, if your child was at home last year from February all the way until August or September, then yes, you were a full-time kindergarten 12th through whatever grade educator. Yes, you were. So yes, you want to go ahead and make sure you put that down. Make sure you put down your expenses so you can get all that shit written off as well. So go ahead and do that too. And then it's going to ask you your earned income credits, what everyone was waiting for. So now you got your earned income credits. The earned income credits. Do you have a social security number that allows you to work? Of course, if you got one, you put yes. Of course, if you don't, you put no. Was your house in the United States for more than half of 2020? Of course, if it's yes, you put yes. If it's no, then it's no. Have you ever received a notice from the IRS that you cannot claim earned income credit? If the answer is yes and the answer is no, y'all already know what to do. So have you been a non-resident alien for any part of 2020? You know what to do if it's yes or no. You know what I'm saying? Could you be a qualifying child of another person in 2020? If you are, then yes. If you're not, then no. Was your earned income credit reduced or disallowed by the IRS in a previous year? And you let those people know. Let them know what it is. Okay, so this is what's new for 2020. Congress passed legislation that lets you use your 2019 income instead of your 2020 income if it gives you a higher earned income credit, So, or an additional child tax credit. Enter your 2019 information and then they'll give it to you. If you already did your tax filing with Tax Hawk, then they carry the information over for you from 2019 and you don't have to input it. So congratulations. They'll let you know if you qualify for earned income credit towards the end. And let me tell you about Tax Hawk. Tax Hawk will ask you about your STEMI payment. Everybody had all this jargon to talk about with the STEMI payments and how hard the rebates and the credits was going to be. Come on to Tax Hawk, okay? So economic impact payment stimulus information. I swear you not, y'all. It is. This is how it look. It literally gets straight to the point. It gets straight to the point. Economic impact payment status. Did you receive an economic impact payment? You can put yes or no. Well, I'm going to hit no. Also known as the stimulus check. So I hit no. It says, congratulations. You qualify for economic impact payment on your tax return of $4,000. It will be included on your tax return as a recovery rebate credit. Wow. That's what's up, y'all. Yo, that's fire. I'm rocking with that. Yo, that's fire. Yeah, that's fire. So listen, like I can't make this up. I swear, y'all, I hit no. It said, "Did you get an economic impact stimulus payment?" I hit no, and it says, "Congratulations, you qualify for a EIP payment on your tax return of $4,000." That's so cool, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Did you make energy improvements to your home? Did you do a credit carry forward? And it's just gonna keep asking y'all. Most of the stuff that you can navigate through, you can navigate through it on the side tab bar. And basically that's about it. Man, that's about it. So I'm not gonna do this forever. Um, if there's any type of questions that y'all need, I've been on here for like an hour. I'm ready to go. Y'all can just go to taxhawk.com, taxhawk.com. I thought that was so cool, that whole STEMI thing, because I swear like $4,000 just popped up on the screen. That was so cool. Um, so yeah, you guys, I love you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in with me. I'm tired. Um, I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope I have a beautiful day as well. My back is hurting. I'm in like this little bitty kitty chair. But I hope all is well and all is glorious. Peace and love. And I hope you guys have fun doing these taxes today. Do not let it drain you. Do not let it consume you. Just get it done. Remember, you got some monies. You got to get peace and love, family.